Hello my beautiful Hammerhead and welcome back to another video. So the Warhammer community team released an article today about, well, the faction focuses. And the title was like, faction focuses begin tomorrow. And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound that exciting. And I was in the mindset of, I'm gonna skip this today. I'm just gonna look at the pretty pictures. Then I saw this. And it instantly became interesting. So I haven't read anything as of yet. We're gonna dive into this together, as per usual. Faction focuses begin tomorrow. Here's what to expect. We've seen Skaventide, the massive launch box for the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. From tomorrow, we'll be taking a look at every faction in the game, starting with the Stormcast Eternals. Obviously. With so many changes, the Warhammer Studio took the opportunity to fully re-index the entire game. This meant assessing every single war scroll to refactor and rebalance. That's what they already talked about with they put every unit in front of them and categorized everything. That's basically this picture. Human, elf, orc, grot, monster, horse. There are probably a lot more of those. Each type of creature was assigned a set of characteristics which would serve as a baseline across factions. A basic human hits on 4+ and wounds on 4+. Elves are more accurate but no stronger, so they hit on 3, wound on 4. While orcs are no more accurate but stronger, so hit on 4 and wound on 3. Makes sense. Elite warriors and brutes or ill-trained fighters and weaklings can modify these baselines, but the archetypes provides a strong consistent core. A similar approach was taken amongst heroes, helping to differentiate a combat hero from a priest or wizard. That's priests and wizards were always the old man stick weapon, which we had with the D3 wounds and so on, but yeah, we will have to wait and see. More work came when deciding how to clearly represent the health and save characteristics. Hundreds of miniatures were lined up to compare, there it is, with health largely defined by their volume and save largely defined by the amount of armor worn. These were then grouped together to help decide where brackets for each characteristic would start and end. I like this one. After these base characteristics had been determined, the aim was to ensure that every unit had its own role to play on the battlefield. These would be realized by abilities that helped to define their strengths and unique traits. Okay, each faction in Warhammer Age of Sigmar has its own specialities and preferred tactics, but internal balance is also important, where an army has to access multiple types of infantry or cavalry or war machine. The rules team took pains to help differentiate them. Perhaps giving one unit a focus on holding objectives, like the Liberators, one unit better positional play, and making another unit better at countering specific threats thanks to a carefully chosen weapon ability. Okay, interesting. Weapon abilities, we get all of them. Some weapons have one or more of the passive weapon abilities below. If a weapon has multiple weapon abilities that apply on a critical hit before the attack sequence starts, the commander of the attacking model must pick one of those abilities to use. Interesting. Okay, we have the anti-X plus rend. Okay, we don't have to explain rend. But there is a lot of text and there is other stuff in there. Add 1 to this weapon's rend characteristic if the target has the keyword after anti or fulfills the condition of anti. Multiples of this ability are cumulative. For example, if a weapon has both anti-charge plus rend and anti-hero plus rend, then add 2 to the rend characteristic of the weapon for attacks that target a hero that's charged in the same turn. Okay, interesting. Charge plus 1 damage. Add 1 to weapons damage characteristic if the attacking unit charged this turn. Companion. This weapon is not affected by abilities used by friendly unit that affect the attack characteristic or the attack sequence. Crit 2 hits. Okay, if you roll an unmodified 6, you have 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Make a wound roll for each. Crit auto wound is in the name. Make a save roll as normal. Crit mortal, yeah, that's just it. Unmodified on 6. Hit is a mortal damage equal to damage characteristic, and attack sequence ends. Shoot in combat, you can shoot into the unit that is in combat with you. As a result of these role determining process, the way rend works in weapon profiles has changed. While rend has been reduced overall, there are many, that doesn't sound like it was reduced, there are many more units with anti-X abilities, meaning they'll hit much harder against their preferred targets. Of course, combat in Age of Sigmar is brutal, so don't expect all rends to go away. Rolling loads of dice only to inflict no wounds isn't that fun or exciting. Yes, that would be bad game design. The final step was to try and even out the complexity of each faction's battle traits, the army rules that govern how they play. This has resulted in bigger changes for some factions than others, and a reduction in the need for tokens when playing factions like Lumineth Realm Lords or Cities of Sigmar. As we start to reveal snippets of each of the 24 factions, you'll undoubtedly see things that don't look as powerful as they were in the previous editions. Don't take these in isolation. Literally everything has been refactored, so if a particular unit seems weaker, the chances are that similar units have experienced comparable changes, or its niche has become more valuable. I love that. The full faction packs contain battle trains, battle formations, heroic traits, artifacts of power, and various laws, as well as spearhead battle traits, regiment abilities, enhancements, and all the war scrolls you need. You can buy them as physical card packs as launch, and they'll be available to download for free shortly after. Okay, I would guess this is the order of releases after the launch box, because Stormcast and Skaven, obviously. Then we need Destruction and Death, and Gloomspite and Nighthaunt would be fine, because the way I see this is they would only release a hero for these two, and then something would come out that buffs them, buffs something else with another unit, like a Warcry box or something like that. Okay, but this is great. This is a nice thingy. I love that horses hit on 5s, wound on 3s, because the horses are, of course, the main damage dealers. It's not the rider. Monsters hit on 4, wound on 2. That's something I really like. Grots, probably also Hobgrots for the Cruel Boys. Probably also hit on 4, wound on 5. So yeah, interesting. I enjoy this one. This is a short and nice article. I have nothing to say against this one. It was more informative than I thought. I'm really excited for tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all the war scrolls because that would be just ludicrous. I don't have all the time in the day. I was just hoping that Stormcasts were being released today, because today is still a holiday here in Germany. But yeah, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, please remember to do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is not only fun. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more wargaming almost every day. And by that I of course mean like and subscribe. But until then, have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.